We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. It's 3-0 versus 2-1. A good early season battle as we're underway in Week 4. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Here's Burrow to throw right away. Escaping the pressure. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Here we go.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Burrow going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
You get a sense of what this game plan might be. They think they can take a few home run shots against this defense. They tried it there on the opening drive, but that ball's incomplete.
Here we go. 11 MT paint. 11 MT paint.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. How about that? They weather the storm of a 3rd and 17 to pick up the first.
Here we go. 11.
Straight ahead, it's Irving. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Well, this defense for the Cardinals very strong in that victory a week ago.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions,
here we go.
What do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Once again, it's Irving. He stiff arms him. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That good for 22 and a first down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 52 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down. Now Burrow changing the look. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Forced out to his left. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Joe Burrow with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
This is a great decision right here. Out of the pocket to his left, and he knows if he waits too long, the defense is going to be all over him. So he makes a decision to go and wins the race to the pylon.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one going to hop into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20. Play action. Now Purdy. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Cardinals. Xavier Worthy, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Cardinals are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
On 1st and 10, here's Irving. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 86 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A big play there on the catch and run. 30 yards.
And as you saw right there, this is a guy with pretty good speed for a tight end. Nice job there, catching the short throw and turning it upfield. He can also be a weapon downfield as well.
11, Tommy.
A run up the middle with Irving. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
All of a sudden, those lanes that were there earlier in the drive dry up near the goal line. That's a good job defensively to diagnose the run and stop it for a very short pickup.
Done.
Irving going to take this down just short of the goal line. He got 3, but could not get the ball over the chalk. 7-7, our score after 1. Seahawk football here to start quarter number 2, as they'll see what they can do on 3rd and goal. They'll run with Irving, and he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Bucky Irving with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Purdy will set up to throw it here. Throw left side complete. That's back. And take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
I think the good offensive coordinators in the league now are looking at the fullback position and finding the right guys to hide in that spot and increase their passing game, as we just saw there. How about the run after catch? Racked him.
Well, yeah, whether it's a true fullback, a tight end, you put in the fullback spot, you know they're going to be tough to bring down if you can get them the football in the passing game. The Cardinals at 2-1 now to start the campaign. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Now Purdy. He finds his man, complete. It's Sharp. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Flag comes in. This might be a free play.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Diamador Lenore.
And the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Purdy sets up to throw again.
He finds his man, complete. That's Sharp. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play.
That's quickly out to Harrison.
First time that they called his number tonight, and it gets him a 1st down.
Throwing here, Purdy. Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler.
They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. A quick throw completed by Purdy.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
This now a 3rd and 4. Once more, Purdy looking to throw.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, their offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
On 1, ready?
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Here we go.
So for this offense, Charles, remember drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 15.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
The Seahawks will call on Michael Dixon on 4th down to punt this one away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Pulled in at the 24. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And that is incomplete. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
79 Broncos. Come on. Set. Trap 60. Go.
Back to throw, Purdy. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Purdy looking to throw. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
11 empty. 11 empty. Tight. 11.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
On 2, ready?
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5.
12.
Now Burrow.
Oh, and that is incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board.
Now 2nd and 5.
Here we go. 11. 11 empty. 12.
Now a give, Irving running right. And a short gain down to about the 33. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Here's Burrow. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as he'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Harrison. And, he takes a shot at the end of that play. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Here comes 3rd and the length of the football.
Here we go.
Shotgun now with Purdy. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From midfield now, Burrow. He can't get him down, and they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
But a great coach has said football is a really simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, you rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Short throw, he's got Kraft. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the game there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This one from 48 yards away. Gay's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
Michael Vickers to kick off for Seattle.
One touchdown is the difference. 17-10 our score, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing.
This is caught inside the 15. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A huge play there for Arizona. 64 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. Now Jones. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Aaron Jones with career touchdown number 70. And the Cardinals come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. And they'll opt not to return this, but since the ball did hit in the landing zone, this will come out to the 20. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Here we go.
After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand new ball game, all tied here in the third as they have their first possession of this second half.
And Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer, because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in tying the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves, they'll retake the lead and maybe set the tone for the rest of the half, keeping them in the driver's seat.
Finding space at the 40. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 47. Off the play fake. Here's Burrow. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 18. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good... And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Bucky Irving, his second touchdown of the night. And the Seahawks have moved out in front. So this game tied at the half, but we are tied no more. A touchdown there on the opening sequence of this third quarter.
And what a great drive put together by their offensive coordinator. He had a plan, and they executed it almost to perfection, coming right out of the locker room. Now they're feeling good about their chances here in the second half.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They were bouncing their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
Let's go now.
They go with a shuffle pass, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A gain of 10, first down, Arizona.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Go.
Purdy off the play fake. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this one is incomplete.
Just too much air on the ball, and that's a missed opportunity in a game where you don't have many opportunities left.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Dragon 60.
Here's Purdy. Throw left side complete. That's back. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
18, Pioneer. 7 Pirates. Check out.
Purdy. Throw over the middle into the hands of the tight end, Parham. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. That's to the left side, taken in by Harrison. So nothing doing there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up.
Here we go, sack.
Purdy now to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. Purdy will look to throw again here. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as a tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 26. Tough to imagine any team wanting to give a player like this up in a trade, but I know they're happy to have him.
It is amazing, isn't it? But we have seen big-time guys change teams. Jimmy Graham, Brandon Marshall, and their new teams are really excited to have them because they provide big-time targets.
On first down, Sharp, and he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. From the 23, here's 2nd down and 7. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. On 2nd and 7, Purdy. Short throw caught by Bowers. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Aaron Jones with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Cards are an extra point away from tying this game here on the 4th. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. What a way to wrap up the week in the NFL. All tied on this Monday night as the kick is away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And this will be a Seahawks first down as he'll get this up to about the 42.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Here we go. 11 MT, Tate. 11 Thomas.
Here's a handoff to Irving. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Well, they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Tie game, 4th quarter, and they're going for this thing on 4th down.
11 Thomas.
Oh, they're changing this at the line.
11.
4th down. Here's Joe Burrow. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. So the 4th down conversion has him inside the 40 now, 1st and 10.
11.
On the handoff, this is Irving. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
This has been an up-and-down, back-and-forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
38-yard line, 2nd and 9.
Here we go.
Burrow looking to pass. Short throw. He's got Kraft. And that's good for a gain of 6. And now it's 3rd and 3.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, Great hand-eye coordination. Guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's first and 10 now.
11 MT paint. Don.
A shotgun handoff here to Irving.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Now 2nd and 4.
11 mighty. 11 mighty. 11 MT. 11 MT. Don.
They'll stay on the ground with Irvin. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. What a way to wrap up the week. Now a big play. It's third down. Now Burrow changing things up here. They'll try and run here with Irving. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. And a nice play there defensively. And this is a new acquisition, Charles. You and I were talking about it pregame. Just signed as a free agent earlier this week.
Love when they pick up those guys with something to prove. Because any guy who's a free agent off the street, no one else wanted him. So he wants to prove to the rest of the league, you should have signed me first.
Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they manage the clock exactly right.
This is 1st and 10.
Go.
Throwing, Purdy. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Picked up by Diamador Lenore. And the Seahawks have just about sewn up this football game.